Job chapter 39. Are you acquainted with the way the mountain goats give birth? Do you watch as the wild deer give birth to their young? Do you count the months they must fulfill, and do you know the time they give birth? They crouch, they bear their young, they bring forth the offspring they have carried. Their young grow strong and grow up in the open. They go off and do not return to them. Who let the wild donkey go free? Who released the bones of the donkey? To whom I appointed the steppe for its home, the salt wastes as its dwelling place. It scorns the tumult in the town. It does not hear the sounds of a driver. It ranges the hills as its pastures, and searches after every green plant. Is the wild ox willing to be your servant? Will it spread the night at your feeding trough? Can you bind the wild ox to a furrow with its rope? Will it till the valleys, following after you? Will you rely on it because its strength is great? Will you commit your labor to it? Can you count on it to bring in your grain and gather the grain to your threshing floor? The wings of the ostrich flap with joy, but are they the pinions, the plumage of a stork? For she leaves her eggs on the ground and lets them be warmed on the soil. She forgets that a foot might crush them, or that a wild animal might trample them. She's harsh with her young, as if they were not hers. She's unconcerned about the uselessness of her labor. For God deprived her of wisdom, and did not impart understanding to her. But as soon as she springs up, she laughs at the horse and its rider. Do you give the horse its strength? Do you clothe its neck with a mane? Do you make it leap like a locust? Its proud neighing is terrifying. It paws the ground in the valley, exulting mightily. It goes out to meet the weapons. It laughs at fear and is not dismayed. It does not shy away from the sword. On it the quiver rattles, the lance and the javelin flash. In excitement and impatience, it consumes the ground. It cannot stand still when the trumpet is blown. At the sound of the trumpet, it says, "Aha!" And from a distance, it catches the scent of battle, the thunderous shouting of commanders, and the battle cries. Is it by your understanding that the hawk soars and spreads its wings toward the south? Is it at your command that the eagle soars and builds its nest on high? It lives on a rock and spends the night there, on a rocky crag and a fortress. From there it spots its prey. Its eyes gaze intently from a distance, and its young ones devour the blood, and where the dead carcasses are, there it is. Chapter 40. Then the Lord answered Job, "Will the one who contends with the Almighty correct him? Let the person who accuses God give him an answer." Then Job answered the Lord, "Indeed, I'm completely unworthy. How could I reply to you? I put my hand over my mouth to silence myself. I have spoken once, but I cannot answer twice. But I will say no more." Then the Lord answered Job from the whirlwind, "Get ready for a difficult task like a man. I will question you, and you will inform me. Would you indeed annul my justice? Would you declare me guilty so that you might be right? Do you have an arm so powerful as God's? And can you thunder with a voice like his? Adorn yourself then with majesty and excellency, and clothe yourself with glory and honor. Scatter abroad the abundancy of your anger. Look at every proud man and bring him low. Look at every proud man and abase him. Crush the wicked on the spot. Hide them in the dust together. Imprison them in the grave. Then I myself will acknowledge to you that your own right hand can save you. Look now at Behemoth, which I made as I made you. It eats grass like the ox. Look at its strength in its loins and its power in the muscles of its belly. It makes its tail stiff like a cedar. The snures of its thighs are tightly wound. Its bones are tubes of bronze, its limbs like bars of iron, its ranks first among the works of God. The one who made it has furnished it with a sword. For the hills bring it food, where all the wild animals play. Under the lotus trees it lies, in the secrecy of the needs and the marsh, and the lotus trees conceal it in their shadow. The poplars by the stream conceal it. If the river rages, it is not disturbed. It is secure. Though the Jordan should surge up to its mouth, can anyone catch it by its eyes, or pierce its nose with a snare?